Hi there, and welcome to another episode of How to Start a Board Game Company. I'm Jay Cormier. Now, this week we're going to talk about samples again, but this time I have some samples to show you. However, it's tinged with a little sad news. So the quick story is that if you've been watching a little bit of this, I've been waiting and waiting for these samples to show up because I ordered them, uploaded them as of November 17th, and I've been waiting. They were shipped up December 6th. It is currently December 21st. Now I do have, but here's what happened. I get a package, like a Pure Later thing saying, hey, you missed this shipment. I got to go pick up something. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go pick it up. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be my samples for Mind Management because I'm still tracking the game on the USPS website, and it still says it's in San Francisco. So I'm not even thinking that. I get there, I had to pay for some customs, and I open it up, and I'm like, oh, Mind Management, cool. And I get home, I'm all excited. I'm like, okay, finally. But it was only box 1 of 2, and they checked, and they did not have box 2 of 2. So I'm like, oh, well, that's frustrating. But at least I got some, so I can send out, I'm like already trying to prioritize who should I send them out to first and everything. I start opening up, and I open up a box, and it's full of one type of component in a box. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I open another one, it's got a different type of component. I'm like, oh. After I open up all the boxes I had, which is like 8 or something like that, there's still missing some components. So I still can't send these out until I get the other box, which I don't know when I'm getting that. So it's frustrating. But I'm going to show you what I got so far. So this is currently the box that I got. Now we're in the process of changing this cover art because we had some feedback about this gun, which if you've been following along, we're going to be changing that out to a hand grenade, which is way better than a gun, apparently. No, it's true, actually, it is. A hand grenade is... A gun is just so suggestive and so weird because there's no guns in the game, really. Honestly, there's no guns in the game. So, and in the comic, they're very sparse. So that's the front. I got it made really thin because there's no funky compartments and whatnot. This won't be the thickness of the final game. It'll be a bit thicker because we're going to have all these extra envelopes. I'm not packing... I say envelopes, they're going to be game trays for the deluxe and whatnot. So extra compartments with an insert and all this kind of stuff. Game trays for the deluxe version. So it'll be thicker, but it was a lot cheaper to get this size box. And then I made a back of the box for it, which is pretty unnecessary. And I say I made it. Matt Kent made the art for it. And so, but what we did was, this is the back of the box, which is super fun and interesting. It's like some kids playing a game, but it's this game. And this text here is kind of like somewhat borrowed from the game of Risk, but all like edited, and even the text is really edited, but it feels like it's talking about Risk, but it's all edited to make it sound like it's talking about this game. It's pretty funny. And then there's all these extra little weird comics along the sides. This won't be the back on the back. This will be the sides, but they don't print the sides for a sample, so I thought this will be more fun to do this on so people could see it, the reviewers could see it, to show that it's going to be full of fun, interesting things. So and there's a lot of fun little messaging on all the sides. It looks like they're the same, but there's a lot of fun little messaging along the sides. So that's going to be that. And then let's go through some more of the components that I got and talk about it a bit. Okay, so the first is the board. The board comes obviously white on one side. Let's see if I can do justice to this on this size of monitor and size of camera that's showing up. This is the board. So it looks pretty darn good. Let's kind of zoom in here. You can see some. I mean, if you've been following along, you've seen some of the stuff. But look isn't this so interesting art? And it really pops. Like all the colors, all the features that have to pop really pop. Really interesting. So I can't get it back far enough to show you the whole thing. There it is. Sideways. Anyways. It's really cool. There was, I don't know, you probably can't see it. There was some issues I found. It's bubbled up. Oh, where am I showing you here? It's bubbled up here. Like there's a crease. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There's a crease along it. I really don't like that, so that's unfortunate. And it looks like it's on in the exact same location. So I'm gonna have to talk to Print and Play about that. I'm like, that is pretty yucky. I'm not sure what can they do about it. Obviously, nothing they can do about these ones. I can try to smooth it down a little bit. That's about it. What else do we have? So then let's talk about some of the cards we have, and we'll talk about A mistake I made. So here we'll just go through some of the cards, but that's the setup card, pretty straightforward. I mean, you might have seen some of the art before. This is like the ad man. Now I'm going to keep him aside because I made a mistake, and I'm going to tell you about this mistake that I made in a minute. We have the characters, the character cards, where on one side is the character card with all of the actions you can do, but on the back side is just the character card. If you're playing the training mission, you don't get any funky abilities, just to kind of keep it simple. So that was that, and then there's Bill, and then there's Maru. And the back side is nice close-up version over here. And then there's Henry Lime, nice and cool. Cool. And then we have all these. This is pretty cool. So the mind management cards, action cards, that's the back of them. But the front of them are the actions that you can do. So you can they can step around, and they can move immortals. And it's a thing I did. Instead of doing like a player aid, we made it this way because there's going to be this shift system for those that have been following along, where as you play the game, you open up these envelopes and packages, and you get more content, and a lot of them will start add to and change these things. And this was a much more easier interface to kind of work with, to show you what features you had. And then then the backs of the rogue agents I thought was really cute. I'm going to show you this one again. So this is the mind management back of the card, and then this is the cameras are weird because it's opposite of the way I'm looking at it. That's the back. So again, you can read the text on it, hopefully. Better living through careful thought control and curbed freedom of thinking. And then this one just says better living through freedom. It's pretty fun. And it's all like blacked out rogue agents. Anyways, it's pretty cool. So, and then those are the fronts of all those. Pretty cool. This is the back of an ally card. Help wanted, in need of ally, blah, blah, blah. Pretty cool. Some extra text you can read. And the first ally you start with is the Black Ops Dolphin. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. That's focusing. Maybe it's too close. But that's already, there's a secret kind of word on there that I'll show you later. These are the bad guys. So you have either the pipe girl, the pipe girl and what she can do, and how she. So this is one of the recruiters. So if you're the one versus many, this is the one. This is one of the people you could be, or you could be the ad man. Now the backs of these is pretty cool. It's eliminate on sight, and you can be just kind of, it's just a funky, cool back to it. Here's where the mistake came. Here's what I did wrong. I had to upload the files, the front and back of the cards, and you know how this front equals this back over here. I screwed that up on 2 cards, and so the this Adman card unfortunately has the back is Bill, the basic Bill, and then the better Bill has the back of the Adman card. Fortunately, this Adman card is the one that you give to agents, so it won't affect gameplay, but I have to put now a special note into this box to make sure I explain that to the reviewers. Hey, this is what it is. Try not to show that in reviews, that it's screwed up in the videos. And then here's all of the backs of the recruitment cards. This looks like just like a normal kind of back of a deck of cards, but there's secret messages already in the back of this card, which is pretty cool. And then these are, check out this art. These are the recruitment cards. These are actual cards for the game, and it's wild. Each one of these has a feature, like that's a tiki torch, that's the bulletin board, that's the bus, the C4 dogs, the graffiti, the pool. It's always watching out for you, always watching you. So great. Matt Kint is a genius. That's the bookstore. That's the totem. That's the idea garden. Everything feels so unique. With a little tuk-tuk and palm trees. Amazing. So I'm super happy with all the cards. I did another funky thing. We'll see if it matters, but I included a little cipher as one. I had an extra card, so I'm like, I'll include this little cipher and a kind of a quote here. Think smart, get lucky, or stumble in the depth of how wrong you are. That's a clue for this. And there's already secret messages in the game that if you want to use that cipher, you can. There's a bunch of these step tokens. These step tokens here, they look the same on both sides. They're pretty basic. They'll be shaped into a different shape in the final one. But doing a sample, it's hard to get things shaped the right way. This is the MIND slip token. Pretty generic, pretty like meaning it's just a 1-inch token. There's the time token. This will be a way cooler in the final one. It's kind of a little bit sad that I couldn't do more with it here. And then here's a bunch of the player tokens. You've seen kind of the art before, but now this is the token for Henry, and these will even be cooler. These will be double-sided, so the front will be the front of Henry and the back will be the back of Henry. Put it in the middle. There you go. But here's all the people. Maru and the Immortals. So pretty exciting. That's that. And then a baggie full of tokens and whatnot. Now, so here, what I did was I kind of risked it a bit, and I'm paying for it a little bit, but I thought for the mental note tokens, which are these dry erase tokens where players can write things on it, I was just going to do cardboard with like laminate coating on it. And then I thought, oh, these plastic white tokens would be so cool. They'll have a much better feel to it. And I just hoped and assumed they'd be dry erasable, but the ones they sent have like a little pattern on it, and they kind of soak it up a bit. So what I'm using now is I have this punch that punches a 1-inch circle, and I have sticky dry erase. So I don't know if you can see, but I stuck an actual circle of sticky in there on both sides. So that is now a dry erase token that can be dry erased. So I had to do that for 15 times, and I'll have to do that for all 15 games. Okay. Comes with 2 markers, which is great, so that you can use one color for one side and one for the other side to show what's a hit or not. Then a bunch of these little standy things, so that can hold up the standees. The black ones are for the Immortals, and then there's like see-through ones. I'll show it to you, but you know what they look like. For the agents. Then a bunch of... I got the really tiny meeples right now for the... super tiny. For the recruits that you're recruiting. And I think that's it for the bag of plastic tokens. And then the last thing, I think, after that is I have the, it's hard to see, but hard to tell, but because I already packaged them up. These are the first 2 envelopes for the shift envelopes. This is not how they're going to come in the final thing. There they are. So the idea is that they're going to look like comic book covers. So each one of these, and there's 10 in the game, will have a different comic book cover, because when you open it up, each of these is an actual comic book. They're like 8 pages long, and they're really cool. Matt did brand new stories that explain the contents, so you can't really see, but there's stuff inside here, tokens, wood pieces, whatever, in each one. These, for the reviewers, I'm only giving the first 2, so 1 for each side, 1 for the mind management side and 1 for the rogue agent side, so they can try it out. And I've told them if they want to keep playing, they can ask me for prototype versions of more of the envelopes packages if they want to continue playing. We'll see how they like it, because I don't know how many times the reviewer is going to play the game anyways, but that would allow them to play it 3 times, so that should be good. And that's it. So where we're at now is I have to wait for the screen. I still don't have the screen, and I don't have the secret board. If I had those 2 things, I could start shipping these things out to reviewers, but I don't. So this is a huge lesson learned, and if you're watching this and you're making your own game, that sample takes way longer than I budgeted for. I had no idea. I was hoping reviewers would have all these games by now, but I still haven't even been able to send them out. They're literally still sitting in San Francisco. So frustrating. Since December 6th, they've been shipped out, and I don't have them on December 21st. So I know it's a busy season, obviously, for shipping, but I just didn't even think they would be shipped that late, because November 17th, I was expecting within 5 or 6 business days it would be shipped out, and that wasn't the case. So that's a lot of frustrations. So there's that. Then I have to sticker a whole bunch of the mental note tokens so I can use that. And then I wrote a note, like a kind of a page and a half of like explaining. I thought it would be kind of neat. I explain. Let me see if I can just show you real quick. So for this letter here, I personalize it to whoever I'm sending it to. And I said, hey, thanks for taking the time to review it. Here's some things to keep in mind. There's one printing error, the one I mentioned before. So the back of this card, blah, blah, blah. I said, when showing the video, if you're showing the training mission, then you'll need the Bill Falls card that's at the back of the admin. Otherwise, you should be good if you're not even showing the training mission in your video. Of course, this is a sample, so there's not final. And I kind of bolded things that were the important, so they can kind of like, we're going to be doing a new cover, just a little bit about Off the Page is a publisher by Jay Cormier and what they're focused on. And Jay Cormier's designed all these games with Sen, and these games, one with Graham and one by myself. And then I also did the Fail Faster. Mind management is pronounced mind management. I think that's key. Some people might not know that, and I've come across that. They think it's Mind MGMT, kind of like the band, I guess. And then explaining why a game is in quotes, in case that's answers their question. It's in quotes because we're trying to infer that this isn't just a game, but actually a tool used by management in our real world to recruit agents for their cause. And then what my management based on a New York Times bestselling graphic novel series, it's kind of explaining that, and featuring all new art by Matt. And it features the shift system that you get to open packages. And we're going to have a deluxe version that'll include game trays, a game screen will be a thicker board with card sleeves inside to hold the cards, and all character tokens will be chunky wood. And we're planning to launch Kickstarter on this date. If you have any questions, contact me. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'll sign it. So that's kind of what I'm sending to all of them. And then, of course, the last thing I did is I printed out all the rules, and I had to go through all the rules and do tons and tons of examples with a lot of nice images so that it's like as clear as possible. I had friends review it for grammar and just kind of flow. Let me make sure I show you here. And this is just my rules. Obviously, Matt Kim's going to be doing the whole process on making this look even better, obviously, but not bad. And it's even got a little secret code on the back for reviewers that want to decode that, because not that they have the cipher. But that's it. That's the samples. And then next week I might not make a video because it's like, I don't know, maybe I will, but it's middle of Christmas. But hopefully I will make a video because I'll be sending these games off. Hopefully I get a nice Christmas present and get these games in the next couple days. But that's it for me for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Jay. Bye bye.